What's up, everybody? Today I want to show you guys how I tape up a car, how I back tape, where I put the paper, and the reasons why I tape up this way. Let's get started. Okay, here I have a car that I just have to do the quarter panel in. And this is a great example of how to mask and tape up a car where the wheel is. Or this is a great example of how to back tape. And I use back taping in everything I do because it's just a better seal. It keeps things tight and it keeps air from pushing back where air can get through and bring some dirt back into your job. So that's especially where the wheels are. Now, and back in the days when I started, people used wheel covers to cover the wheels and paint with this area open. Let me show you what I mean. Now, I don't have a wheel cover to show you an example, but a wheel cover is just like a cloth that gets pushed in here, covers the tire, and basically leaves all of this exposed. So when you're painting and you're blowing with your gun and you're spraying in here, air is pushing through this open area. And if there's any dirt and debris that can get loose and push back out, it's gonna push back out and it's gonna get dirt all over your car and your paint job's gonna look very unprofessional. It basically looks crappy. So this is a technique that I've always used is back taping. And when I do the back taping, when I'm done back taping, I just put a piece of plastic on it, cut the plastic out, and I'm done. It cuts a lot of corners and it keeps you from doing too much work, and it helps work faster too. Let's get started. Okay, when you're back taping, be sure to use at least 1.5 inch tape. You don't want to use 3/4 inch tape because you're not gonna have enough of a lip sticking out so that you can attach your plastic or your paper, whatever you're gonna use. You need a good amount to stick out, at least to grab on to whatever you're gonna put on the tape. So I always use 1.5 inch. I don't like to use 3/4 for this type of application because it's not gonna leave me enough space so that I can apply my plastic or my paper. So you also wanna make sure that it's very clean in here. Tape doesn't stick to dirt or grime or anything that could be in here. Like, you know, you put tire shine on cars when you're driving it, it gets in here, it gets dirt, everything gets stuck in there. Make sure you clean it very good with some Prep Solve or with some water or soap and water, something. Clean it good because it's not gonna stick. And if it doesn't stick when you start painting, the tape's gonna come off and then you're basically gonna be in the same boat and you won't have that proper adhesion to keep stuff from pushing out and keeping your cars clean. All right, let me show you what I mean. This is how you back tape, all right? Now I'm gonna go all around this whole area where the wheel is and also down here, which is part of the quarter panel. All right, let's get to work. Since I'm not painting the trunk, I'm also gonna back tape inside of the trunk's jamb. I'm gonna be back taping all this area in here, so that way when I close the trunk lid down, I have my back tape here still up, and then I'm gonna put it on top of the trunk lid to seal everything, and that way there's no air coming out of this area and causing me any kinds of dirt. Okay, like I said before, make sure it's clean. Get some Prep Solve, spray it down on a rag, spray it in there, and wipe it down. That way you're sure it's gonna stick properly and that no debris is getting in the way of the tape adhering to what you're trying to tape up. Okay, so this video was requested by one of my subscribers. You know who you are. So I hope that this helps you because I'm doing this one for you. So pay attention. Okay, now that I got my tape already inside of the trunk's jam, that tape is sticking out. I'm gonna stick it with another piece of tape onto the trunk lid. This keeps me from double taping, putting paper in here and then putting paper inside of the trunk's jam, and that's just overly doing it. Takes more time. That's not really, that doesn't make any sense. You know, that takes more time. This is the way to do it. This avoids me having to do double the work. So this avoids me from putting paper inside of the trunk's jam and inside of the trunk lid and then closing it. So I just do one tape up and then tape up right against the trunk lid. It seals everything in nice and tight. No overspray is gonna get through there and no dirt is gonna push back out. Same thing basically goes for anywhere that there is a hole. Let's say down here, there's a hole right here. Back tape it. That's it. That's it. You back tape it. If you don't have a tape-up machine like this, you might think about getting one. If your shop where you work doesn't have a tape-up machine, they need to get one. This is a way faster and easier way to get tape on the paper and mask your cars. This is very time efficient. You know, this is when you need to get stuff done, you need the proper equipment. Now, I made a video on some of the stuff that I use here. It's probably out by now, so if you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. I'll link it at the end of this video and I'll put a link up here. So if you guys want to check it out, but you have to have a tape-up machine like this. This is a must-have. This helps you get it done quickly and taping up machine. Now I don't need to use the tape-up machine with this car because I can basically back tape everything. You get it right to the edge, like this. And that's it. Now the tape is sticking out right here. Let me show you. See how the tape is sticking out of that edge? So now when I close the door, it's gonna be the same thing that I did on the trunk. So now that that's sticking out right there, when I close this door, it's basically gonna be the same thing that I did when I did the trunk. So this tape that's sticking out, sticky side up, I'm gonna tape against this door and that's done. What you wanna do is when you're putting your tape to tape it against the door, once you start putting it on the door, just tuck on it a little bit back. Don't tuck on it too much because it might come off. So you tuck on it a little bit back so it's not too stuck and too close to the edge. That way when you paint, it doesn't leave a rough edge. So just pull it back a little bit towards the door or towards whatever panel you're taping up and then stick it on there. You don't want the tape edge. You don't want that tape edge to be too stuck to the edge over here because it will leave a line and look ugly. So what you want to do is you want to pull back on it just a little bit. Just pull it away from the panel enough so that it doesn't leave an edge. You see what I mean? That's back taped. All of that is back taped. just like this over here. This is all back taped. All around this edge is back taped. All around the wheels back taped. This area is back taped. This is all back taped. Now I just gotta tape this molding off around the window. I gotta tape this up over here. Once all that is taped up, I throw my plastic on here, cut it out with a razor blade, tape the plastic onto that, and that's it. It's done and ready for paint. All we did here to finish up was tape up the window, the quarter glass, all around this area right here. We tape this area up right here just to finish it off. And this was just some basic taping inside of the glass and taping over here where the molding goes. And this is back taped the same way I back taped the rest of the car, and just regular tape up here just to cover the moldings and the windows. And now we're ready for plastic. Okay, now once the plastic is on, all we do is push the plastic onto the tape. That way you got nice adhesion, and start cutting out all around the areas where it's tape up. You cut the glass, you cut all the areas that are not getting painted, they stay in plastic, and then you tape up where you cut the plastic. All right, you got a nice brand new razor blade. Don't use an old razor blade. Nice brand new razor blade, and cut out your plastic. So let's just go over a couple of things, because this is basically done. So what we did was we put plastic over the whole car once everything was back taped, and all the areas that needed to get covered in plastic were covered. Everything that's not getting painted was covered in plastic, and we cut out the areas that had already been taped up. So this is what it looks like. Remember, we back taped this area. This was also back taped. All of this area was back taped. Same way I back taped the other parts of the car. This was back taped. And then the tape was pushed down. And then we put plastic and cut the plastic out where the tape was. Right on top of the tape, we cut the plastic off. All off of these areas. This is where we cut the plastic. Just like this. All these areas where we cut the plastic, where we back taped, just like this. Then once we cut the plastic, in those areas that had already had tape, we taped the plastic on top of the tape that was already there to get everything nice and sealed so that there's no overspray getting on the rest of the car. And so that is how you tape up a car. And that is my technique and my colleague's technique. Now, I made this video because you guys asked me for it, especially one subscriber. And I usually don't end up doing the masking unless I'm not busy. But my work colleague is the one that usually does all of this while I'm painting. So while I'm painting this bumper, my work colleague is in the booth taping up that car that I was showing you guys how to tape up. But he's finishing it up. I started it, he's gonna finish it up, and then we're gonna go over everything that I do to tape up the car. I gotta get back to painting this car because I want to get out of here, which is very helpful. He is very helpful. He gets a lot of work done and he helps me a lot. Sorry. But I am about to run out of memory on my SD card, and I want to end this video by saying thank you for suggesting this video, because I told you guys if you ask me, I will make a video if you need help with something, and that's what I did with this video. If you keep asking me, I might just make it, just like I did this video. But if you need help, please don't be afraid to ask. I will definitely do my best to make a video for you if there's something you need help with. And if you like this video and it was helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Peace. See you guys in the next one. Bye.